a super duper exciting super duper exciting edition of Inside Media Weekly. It's so exciting. This show is so jam packed. I can't even get it out. I'm Ryan Boni. On today's panel, Kevin Bastos.
He'll edit that in the post. Don't worry, kids.
Welcome back. It's good to see you.
Thanks. It's good to be seen.
Justin Pinto's here as well, an early arriver today. Very exciting.
It was very exciting.
But nobody knows that.
Because we also didn't get started on time.
And
that's all good.
C. Without the Otters.
Nope.
Is that a sea otter in the little hole there at the top?
Is that considered the sea?
I guess
Does
not.
it connect to an open body
be
of water?
An aquarium. I don't.
I just thought this is the Super Tuesday duper.
Oh yeah, you're right. It is. Although people might not be watching it today. They may be.
Probably not. I don't think you're going to get this all edited.
It's
going to take you a day to edit that first 20 seconds out.
If you're not in one of the 14, how many states
A lot.
is it?
14
states that's voting today. Maybe.
Don't worry, Pennsylvania's coming up soon, and our vote always matters.
That's right. Speaking
It
of
does
always
matter in the general election.
Speaking of always matters, Invisible Man.
Oh.
See, like that. We had no sea otters. Invisible. What just happened here? Oh, here we go. The chart for this past weekend. The Invisible Man. Number one. As you may recall, and you probably don't.
I do.
Which part? Okay.
The part where you introduced this film a few months ago to me.
So, The Invisible Man, of course, based on the H.G. Wells classic, was part of the whole Universal Monsters movies that we were all going to get. That as soon as The Mummy came out, it all got canceled. But apparently, The Invisible Man still made it out. And there's going to be an Invisible Woman coming, I believe, too. I've heard. I don't know. And they're talking about. I don't.
Maybe it's a sequel? Question mark.
So, Invisible Man, $28 million, pretty good. Sonic the Hedgehog, number 2. We do have a story about Call of the Wild. Call of the Wild is struggling a little bit.
I had a story about Call of the Wild as well.
Oh, good. Mm-hmm. My Hero Academia Heroes Rising, which we didn't even talk about, coming out. Don't worry, Bad Boys for Life is still hanging in there.
Almost 200. Could be this week.
And they're still listing the Harley Quinn movie as Birds of Prey and the Fantabulous Emancipation of One Harley Quinn, even though that's no longer the title of the movie. Impractical Jokers, the movie, 1917.
I really hope the tech director was able to bounce back and forth between our cameras, both nodding our heads like that.
Yes.
Brahms the Boy 2.
If you didn't see it, it was spectacular.
Fantasy Island.
Dropped out? What?
Jumanji's out of the top 10?
Jumanji is now down to 11. Parasite sitting at 12. We can keep going. Emma.
I'm stunned that Fantasy Island made $24 million.
We're going to talk more about Emma later in the show, so we don't want to spoil
I don't even know anything about it.
No. So
perfect.
It's the Jane Austen, one of 5,000 remakes we're doing, but it's coming out in wide release later this week, so we'll talk about that. But it came in 13th in a narrow release. Are you excited about Invisible Man? Another horror movie, sort of?
I heard it was excellent. Everything I read on it were great reviews, and that came from critics and also social commentary, but friends of mine as well said it was wonderful. Really, really good. Good social commentary.
Interesting.
You heard nothing?
I did not hear anything.
Did you see it?
I did not.
Okay. We're here to talk about things we don't know anything
I did
about.
not see it.
We're
I did not read about it. I was surprised it was coming out. I'm surprised it made $28 million. But not a lot of other options.
No.
So.
Yet again, Blumhouse Productions strikes again. Of course, everyone
is that Invisible Man? Maybe, is Blumhouse?
Is one of they're one of 16 people or 16 production companies that are involved. But yes, and what was where'd it go? It was way down here.
That doesn't strike me as good if it's way down.
Well, no, I'm sorry. This is in gross. So $7 million production budget.
For Invisible Man.
Invisible Man.
Wow.
It looked outstanding.
It looked like an actual movie. For $7 million, it actually looked like a movie.
Yeah. But what's incredible is
I
was just counting. So the largest budgeted, you're never going to believe, the largest budgeted Blumhouse production movie was Tooth Fairy with, wasn't that Vin Diesel?
Rock.
Or that was it The Rock? I'm sorry, The Rock.
Rock. You can count.
I don't want to confuse the two of them. That was a $48 million budget. They have had 37 movies come out that have made at least $48 million or more. And of course, as far as the production budgets go, it's Tooth Fairy, Birth of the Dragon was 31 million, and then it's been Glass was 20. Everything else has been below $20 million.
I'm amazed you made Glass for $20 million. Just
which-
the 3 stars in it, who were pretty big names, and the 4th one is kind of big.
Yeah,
And it was pretty good.
but grossed $245 million. So yet
Halloween
again,
was $10 million? Holy frijoles.
and of course, Blumhouse kind of made their name for the Paranormal Activity, the Purge movies, Insidious movies, and stuff like that. As we see, they all were just kind of sitting there right at $10 million as far as production
Smart.
budget. Also did get into some of the dramas. The Black Klansman was there.
Which
so
got
it was
tons of acclaim.
15 million, and Whiplash also was a Blumhouse. So
Wasn't the first Paranormal Activity movie like $45,000 to make? Like it was something
it was something
unbelievably.
like-
Yeah,
it was
that
like
they-
it was like nothing.
What was the movie Blair Witch Project kind of a thing?
Like $200.
yeah, Paranormal Activity. They list their production budget as $450,000, and it grossed $194 million worldwide. That's
It's a pretty good return.
Yeah.
pretty good.
Wish he had that investment.
Of course, Fantasy Island is still out right now. That's also another Blumhouse production, made for $7 million, and has so far grossed $40 million worldwide.
We were making fun of it.
So,
It's almost made 7 times its budget back, but 6
incredible.
times closer now. I think it's to $50 million.
Well, that's before sales, too. Video sales and whatever. And there was almost no advertising for it. So.
Yeah, there can't be that. I mean, it's not like a.
$12.
Yeah, it can't be like Call of the Wild, which is like I see all the time.
Oh,
Speaking of, how did you know the next story was going to be Call of the
I did not
Wild?
know, but you mentioned it earlier.
Call of the Wild has made about $47 million, I think, so far worldwide. And it's expected to lose about $50 million, which is a pretty big loss for Disney. I just don't understand. Okay, the Jack London books, such as Call of the Wild and White Fang and stuff like that, they're not really super happy stories for the most part, as I recall. It's been a long time
I
since
haven't read them.
I've read them.
a lot of dying in the cold.
Yeah, I mean,
Doesn't strike me as an upbeat film.
It's not your ice cream kind of movie.
and so you put grumpy old Harrison Ford in the movie, who obviously isn't a big star anymore, but and then so your what?
They paid a lot of money to get Harrison Ford.
Oh, sure. Oh, yeah. No, I get it.
lot.
But he's not I don't feel like he's drawing to the, movies that wouldn't draw anyway, like Star Wars or Indiana Jones. I mean, he's not.
No.
And then, of course, this movie took a lot of flack because the dog is completely animatronic. There's no dog in the movie at all, yet it's a movie about the dog. So it's.
It's a response to, what was that, Life of a Dog or whatever, where they...
Dennis Quaid? Is that Dennis Quaid was in that movie?
Yeah, I think it was.
A
where
Dog's
they,
Life?
Yeah. They pushed a dog in the water, and ASPCA got involved because they pushed a dog and all. Remember this whole controversy?
Do not.
Oh, yeah.
Vaguely.
It was... They did something to a dog that you shouldn't do to a dog. But it wasn't like they cut off its legs or kicked it. They
So
pushed
at
the
the end
dog
of the
in
movie, it
water.
didn't say no harm.
I
animals
don't
were harmed
know.
in the
I
making
don't-
of.
it's one of those-
Now, do they come out and say a few animals were harmed in the making of this
Sorry.
movie?
Well, it's one of those things like, okay,
There was a bird flying by.
there's all sorts of ones, I forget what the name of it was, where somebody's supposed to eat worms or a maggot
Hmm.
or something, and they had to find one that had died of natural causes and then eat that
Okay.
one to go through that whole thing. They pushed a dog in the water. I don't know if that's harming a dog necessarily, but there was video of that happening, and they got in a lot of mess as a result of it. And I'm assuming this
Shouldn't
is
that be like a cut and dry thing? Like you did X, and now it's Y.
But again, they didn't kick the dog.
I know, but
into the
it doesn't strike
water.
me something that should be like super prolonged
No,
and
but
have all these articles and.
you get it into the right people's hands and get the right people angry, it's going to go around forever. So I think this is hey, let's try this instead. And my addition to this is a high school senior asked me if I'd seen it, and she said she really liked it.
Okay.
I was
Call of the Wild?
surprised. Yeah. I was like, nope. And I wanted to say, I have no interest in seeing that movie at all. I won't pay for it. If it was on free on TNT, I don't even know if I'd slow down when I was flipping by.
Wow. My whole,
What movie is this? Called. Nope. Gone.
Nope. Mm-hmm.
Moving on.
my whole thing is, okay, this movie may not appeal to us per se, but like for people that want to go see a movie that has a dog as the main character, you want to go see a cute dog that's a dog, right? You don't want to see a CG you watch March of the Penguins because you want to watch the penguins. You want to see real animals doing their thing. It just seems like a total misfire on a lot of ways.
The misfire is that pretty much the movie is Harrison Ford and a dog that's not real, and the budget for it was over $50 million. No. I mean, if I'm making this movie and it's anywhere above $25 million, I should get fired right there.
Isn't the CG dog going to add some money? Well, it costs how much to get rid of a mustache?
I don't know. But you send that over to some third-rate studio somewhere, you could do that for less than Harrison Ford's getting paid.
Well, I don't doubt that, but I don't know. They did make The Invisible Man, which I think had a lot of special effects for $29 million, apparently.
Well, no, he's invisible.
$7 million.
Nothing happens.
Right.
But
make nothing. Look, there's a man over there. There's nothing.
Well, but things.
There's a man right behind me. Nothing.
They dumped that can of paint on him.
Well, that's what I was surprised. I had read originally, I guess, when they first were putting together all the Universal monster movies, Johnny Depp was supposed to be the guy in Invisible Man, and so it just seems like we
could save some money.
We don't have to pay you $25 million to not be in this movie. I'm in. I am in. I'm so in.
So we'll have to see if Invisible Man is able to come back, and then Call of the Wild, see if it can finally get over. Although, like I said, it's looking pretty poor for it. Speaking of poor, so there was craziness on the internet. So over the weekend, a story came out that Ben Stiller was going to be in Fast and the Furious 9. It was very exciting news. I don't know, how he was going to fit into the saga.
I don't know how I made it to my weekend without knowing this.
But then, shortly after that, and I'd say it was, literally just a day or two later, just today, Ben Stiller says, Fast and Furious 9 rumor is greatly exaggerated. And I like the picture.
What does that mean, though? He didn't say it's not true. He just said greatly exaggerated.
He says reports of my this is from the Twitter. Ben Stiller says reports of my Fast and Furiousness are greatly exaggerated, meaning not at all true, sadly. Though I wish them well with the franchise. Fingers crossed it takes off, which is a great line.
I'm trying to imagine the two things. One, someone wanting to start the rumor. You know what'll make this really take off? We tell people that Ben Stiller is in the movie. That'll get crazy hype. And somebody else thinking, people are going to believe that Ben Stiller is going to be in this movie.
But so how much of a draw is Ben Stiller going to bring to the Fast and Furious franchise?
Is this 10?
Well, Zoolander crew would come along, and
if they're filming,
they're already coming to Fast and Furious. Everybody's already going to Fast and Furious.
If they're filming already, he's not going to be in it. If they're already done, he'll be in the next one.
The final.
There are already
Fast
people who are
10.
calling up people to meet about that.
To make a post-scenes credit.
They're already talking about that. Already talking.
So it could become like the Expendables meet Fast and Furious, and then we can bring every star who's ever been in a movie can all come together.
The Expendables, they have to be old, though.
Yeah. Ben Stiller's not young, is he?
Ben Stiller wasn't in the Expendables, was he?
No, he was not.
So.
That's true. Very true. So I apologize for anyone if we got your hopes up for the 10 seconds that Ben Stiller is not going to be.
Oh, boy.
Although he could be lying. This could be all a big setup and a tease.
Just hype. No, I'm not in the movie.
Stop begging me to be in Fast and Furious.
This is all a big ploy to get in. I think you're right, Bastos. I think you're right. He's going to be in it now.
What was the Muppets movie? Remember all that? The reboot of the Muppets movie got made because the actor was walking around telling people, "I'm going to make the Muppets movie. I'm going to make it. I'm going to make the Muppets movie." And then finally they called him up. They're like, "Are you for real?" And then it got made. It's pretty dang good.
I think Fast and Furious was going to get made regardless of what
I think they've already charted out through 78 different films. And they've got 3 plots lined up for those 78 films.
Funny you say charts. The next story after we get past the thing. So Uncharted has been adding more and more incredible people to its cast. So those that don't know, of course, it's highly
guilty.
It's a highly successful video game franchise, which is turning into a movie. So Tom Holland is in it already.
Is he going to wear the Spider-Man costume?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
I think it's a shared universe.
I'm out.
Mark Wahlberg is in it. So just announced was Antonio Banderas is now going to be in it, and Sophia Ali is going to be in it.
Captain Kangaroo.
And where's Captain Kangaroo?
He's not in it. This is an earlier version.
So they keep announcing, and I'm trying to think when. So it's got a 2021 release date, right? And Venom's Ruben Fleischer is going to be the one directing it. But they must still just be assembling the cast because obviously they just keep making these cast announcements.
Just got an update. The estate of Captain Kangaroo is confirmed he is not in the film.
Is Ben Stiller going to be in Uncharted? That's the question.
No comment.
However,
Antonio Banderas has been a lot of places lately. I feel like I've been reading about him a lot. Making a comeback.
Academy Award nominee, right, this year?
Yes.
So.
True.
And then, well, Tom Holland.
And maybe, apparently, in 2021 as well.
But think about Tom Holland, Mark Wahlberg, and Antonio Banderas in the movie together. It feels like an unstoppable.
Can the screen handle it?
Trio.
I don't know.
However, they have bad news. Very, very bad
Oh,
news.
no.
So, according to a survey, I love these kind of surveys. The survey confirms people really don't want to go to video game movies. But the thing was, the survey said, what was it? It was like 40% were interested. And I'm thinking, I imagine you ask any genre, right? There's going to be only about 40% that are going to say, yeah, I want to go to that sports movie, or I want to go to that comic book movie, or I want to go to the Jane Austen remake. So this kind of flies in the face of, of course, Detective Pikachu did pretty well. Sonic the Hedgehog had a huge opening. So maybe people will
Still
go
doing
see
okay.
it. And they're talking about they're not all that interested in properties such, in Super Mario Brothers, Pac-Man, Mario Kart, for instance.
Yeah, those don't strike me as good movies. And Super Mario Brothers was tried once. Right?
Oh, it was a turd. Just a turd.
Yeah. I just couldn't remember there was a sequel.
I don't think
I don't think so, right?
I think that was awful enough to not even make it to a direct.
Sometimes when it's that bad, they do go back to the well for some reason.
Here's the top 10, by the way. So they surveyed 2,200 adults in the U.S.
Odd number to go with, but go on.
Pretty large amount. So the highest was Super Mario Brothers. 44% were interested in that. And then somehow they had magically exactly 37% were interested in Pac-Man and Mario Kart. And then after that, we had Donkey Kong, Grand Theft Auto, Call of Duty, Legend of Zelda, Super Smash Brothers, Tetris.
Nothing.
What exactly?
Nothing is as entertaining as a puzzle being put together on a
And
screen.
then Halo. So I just I don't know what to say.
Yeah, that doesn't strike me. As
Now I'm
curious.
curious about a Tetris movie.
I am not.
Of course, it made emoji.
Not
movie.
in.
You could.
How was that film?
Why don't we just watch a live feed of somebody who's really into puzzles from their house, like their kitchen table, just a live feed. Someone comes in a little bit, puts together some pieces.
You'd have to have a weird
Just
concept,
wait.
like aliens or really Tetris pieces or something.
I mean, but what do they do in the real world?
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
I mean-
Explosions and blow some stuff up.
It just makes
It's just fine.
no
problem.
Doesn't strike me as a good one.
No. I think this is the part of the show when we've run out of stuff.
No, there's more.
No!
I've got bad news. I got some bad news. We're continuing the train of bad news. Daniel Radcliffe has no plans on portraying Harry Potter anytime soon.
I don't really see an opportunity
They're
for
out
it.
of stuff. No, there is the movie play.
Yeah, that was a play though, wasn't it?
Yes, but Harry was in it, right? If I remember.
I don't.
Mostly his son. I'm sorry, his son.
The Cursed Child.
Yes.
Was the name of it correct? Although they are taking Hamilton, the musical, and making a
original
movie
Broadway cast.
back together.
How much more millions of dollars can we make?
A lot. A lot.
This many.
And if that doesn't upset you enough,
oh, man.
William Shatner's not really interested in Star Trek, returning to Star Trek anytime soon.
My favorite thing about that is my high school friend says the reason Captain Kirk died is because he was fat.
Wow.
Remember? He's hanging on the thing,
Well,
and it falls down and
yeah.
dies.
In Generations.
I don't know which one.
I think it's Generations.
I lose track after the fourth
Malcolm
one.
McDowell gets him, shoots him, right?
I lose track after the fourth one.
There was definitely after the fourth one, because they did 6 movies together. Then Generations was next, Jenny and them together. 7th.
All over the place. Turned
True.
crazy.
Gets very confusing. Time travel, continuity. Spock's back.
Doesn't matter.
Picard's back on CBS All Access.
Just so you know, William Shatner currently is 88 years old. In 19 days, will be 89 years old. So I'm thinking if he's not interested in portraying Captain Kirk, there's not a whole lot of time left here for him to.
Listen, George Burns made it to 100.
True.
You know,
Did he do how many more of those? Oh God.
only 2. He only did 2. Only God and Oh God Book 2.
That's fantastic. You know them.
Yes, one was good and one was
Not so good.
terrible. I think they did another one, but he wasn't in it.
He said, I can't. I just can't.
Speaking of can't,
This is the.
can you believe this story? So,
Oh gosh, no, tell me.
all right. So
I can't because I don't know what it's about.
I've read like 7 Artemis Fowl books.
So Artemis Fowl, obviously hugely successful book series. Disney is making a movie. They just released the first trailer for it, and people are not happy. The Artemis Fowl fans
never
are
happy.
not
Online
happy.
Online people or nerds.
Are always happy.
That is.
And the problem
so
is,
easy
and
to please.
as someone who's read the books, I've not, but
Long time ago.
he's a villain. He's the villain of the
Child
series.
villain.
And while there's
But he's not really.
there's sort of an illusion, or they sort of allude to the fact that he makes one comment in the trailer that I'm going to be the next master criminal mastermind, but the rest of it he seems like he's kind of a hero. And I would imagine people who probably love the books, you already have a worry about things becoming Disneyfied. I would imagine that this trailer has not.
Help those fears.
Yes.
It's tough to portray a movie about an anti-hero.
Yeah.
It's really tough to make people fall in love with someone you hate.
Especially when they're probably trying to launch an entire series of this. But as I understand, the arc of his character over the books is that obviously eventually he does kind of redeem himself through. But it seems weird that this opening movie, you kind of.
We're just going right to the end. We're just going right to
Maybe-
himself.
Maybe they figure. So, what does this mean for Artemis Fowl? Fans aren't happy.
Oh no, gee.
Well, and how long ago was the first book? Was that?
Oh, a long time, 10, 15 years. I would guess, maybe more, because I think there's like 7 books, and they're very
see here.
simplistic. They're below Harry Potter level.
So 2001 is the first book.
19.
So we're talking 19 years ago, and the books I assume were kind of geared towards
Young,
very
very
young. Well, so I guess they could be
The next Hollywood Diary of a Wimpy Kid.
About that level. I mean, it was about that level. I remember reading through them in an afternoon. Like even Harry Potter, I thought was way more complex.
Especially as it went on. The first one's not terribly complex,
No, it's
but
pretty
then
easy.
oh, these are popular? I can write a lot more book. This one's like a phone book.
Now the author says that he's perfectly happy with what they're doing. Although I can't imagine he's going to come out ahead of time.
He checked his bank
drove the truck
account.
up money.
Movie stinks.
He looked at his bank account and said, I like it.
That's right.
Like, you know what? They're doing a great job.
Perfect.
Disney, you're doing a great job.
Ready
Keep
for my
it coming.
story?
Oh yeah, you got a story?
Yeah, we're throwing out 3 Men and a Baby now. Saw Knives Out.
Oh, nice.
So good.
Nice.
So I think I liked it better than Parasite.
Okay.
Rewatchable, really complex,
Yeah.
fun. Also, my daughters loved it.
Nice.
Got them to put away their phones during the whole movie. Sarah watched it 3 times.
Yeah, the reviews have been phenomenal.
Oh, it was excellent. Excellent. Going to be a sequel,
So
I've
Ryan
heard.
Johnson has redeemed himself.
Oh,
from-
yes. And I don't think he ever unredeemed himself. I didn't have that hate moment for him.
Well, but yeah, a lot of people
I know a lot of
blame
people
him
did.
for Star Wars. But,
I understand. I don't.
although his stuff beforehand was good, so it's not like
Did you guys read that they confirmed that Palpatine was a clone?
I saw in the book.
In the book,
novelization.
well, the novelization
Yeah.
came out, and he is a clone. It is mentioned. So, in news that is 3 months late, now you know.
Thank goodness.
Because, taking 90 seconds to explain that during a movie that's over 2 hours long, maybe just would have been
Because
too
it would be
much.
crazy for
Too
a Star
much.
Wars character to get thrown down into a shaft at the end of Return of the Jedi, and just say,
After being cut in half with a lightsaber. Oh, wait.
Oh, wait.
That's
wrong
episode
one.
1. That's
Okay,
episode
sorry.
1. He's back.
Sorry. Sorry.
characters never come back from the dead. So they did give an explanation that he's a clone. He was created from.
I love that they went back and made him dead. Like, there's no way it can be cut back and cutting half, except if we have an idea where we want to make him come back. Then it's okay. the Force.
Yes, mechanical legs. Perfect. Done. So put it. Go. Run with it.
In, whatever.
Speaking of go, good news: the Three Men and a Baby Disney Plus remake is moving forward.
Add it to my list. Why I don't have Disney Plus. Okay. Done.
Now this one we got to go.
You're gonna miss the Three Men and a Baby remake, Kev.
So of course, Three Men and a Baby was based on a French film before that, but the American version, which was highly successful, came out in 1987, and obviously at that point in time, Steve Guttenberg, Tom Selleck, and Ted Danson were pretty big-ish stars.
Bigger than now.
Ted Danson's on Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Ted Danson is still.
Tom Selleck's on.
That show.
Yes.
On CBS.
Yeah.
No.
It's like the new Murder, She Wrote.
Wasn't he on like
Blue
Blue Bloods or
Bloods.
something?
Yes.
Yeah, Blue Bloods.
Mm-hmm. Steve Guttenberg is on the Goldbergs.
I did not know that.
Yes. He has a recurring role.
A couple other quick stories right before we go. Top Gun 2 Maverick is coming out on Wednesday, instead of on Friday, just so you know, because
I will alter my
you
plans.
want to wait an extra 2 days to see Top Gun 2.
I think I'll see that.
Paranormal Activity 7 is bringing back the Paranormal Activity writer, the main writer, Christopher Landon, who's been doing most of the movies. So, good news, 7 is not going to be a drop-off from
I would not have said 7.
the previous.
I think I've only seen one.
Well, you got 5 more to get caught up on.
Sorry, I didn't mention, it's kind of a big story, not the ad blocker, but Steven Spielberg is done. He's out of Indiana Jones 5, and James Mangold is going to step in, which I think is a good choice, I would think, for a replacement for him. But it kind of makes you go, well, why are we doing this then? Like, why?
I thought that
old.
before.
Money.
George Lucas is out. He's not involved
money.
in it, supposedly, except maybe executive
So,
producer.
Star Wars? Should we do it since Lucas is out?
But now Spielberg's going to be out. Now it's just going to be Harrison Ford.
I think that's the reason I saw it. There wasn't a lot of points in the movie where I was like 10 going, oh, I'm sensing the Steven Spielberg-ianess. There was not. There was no point I was like, this is almost as good as 1941.
This weekend, we got Onward coming out. So, of course, the big Disney Pixar, we'll see if that's going to be a huge success. I imagine that's going to be number one. There is the Emma remake.
Going wide.
First Cow is also going wide. And The Way Back is also coming out big. So
Way Back.
The Way Back is coming.
You got spring break. You're going to have to get caught up on a lot of movies in spring break.
No, most of these movies will be gone on spring break.
There's
New
no
Mutants
way.
coming out the Friday before.
There's
it's
no
gonna be
way
out.
Way
They're not
Back
going to
will be
pull it by
gone.
Wednesday. Not gonna, so
You're
New
right.
Mutants is on the list. I don't know what else is. New Mutants is on the list.
Emma.
No, 0% chance.
I assume Onward is going to be by far the
Sounds like it.
largest. Although I've not seen a lot of, I've not seen a ton of.
I've seen some.
Some, not as much as normal.
You would think
No.
for Disney Pixar it would be big, but well, that's all the time we have. We'll have to check in next week to see who comes in number one on the next edition of Inside Media Weekly. Thanks for joining us.